Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Legendary Leaders. I am your host, Katrina Jameson. I am the founder of Legend Leaders, where we arm female business leaders with the strategies they need to live life on their terms, a legendary life. If you noticed, based on the episode from last week, I got some feedback and a lot of you were like, hey Katrina, when you introduce yourself on these episodes, you say you arm business leaders with strategies they need. But you don't say you arm female business leaders. And you're absolutely right. I typically don't say that because, in one hand, I don't want to make those male clients that we currently have with us feeling as though we're not supporting them equally as well. But at the same time, I need to be clear about my niche. And that's exactly what I teach my business owners and leaders and clients. And you're exactly right. So you will hear from this point forward us be very clear about the fact that we serve female business leaders. So I love the call out. Thank you so much for the feedback. It's what makes us better, right? Makes us better. Feedback makes us better. And so speaking of feedback, today I want to talk about pillars. That's what we're diving into, pillars. Last week I introduced you to the 3 pillars that we focus in on here at Legend. We teach you these 3 pillars because we firmly believe if you are armed with these 3 pillars and you practice them within your business that either you personally own or that you lead for someone else, if you practice and master these 3 pillars, you will live life on your terms. It's very, very simple. It's a very simple process. But it's very hard to get there if you're not sure of the recipe or the formula or how all the pieces work. And so that's where we come in. We help you understand and learn those pieces and those strategies. So, when we're talking pillars, if you remember from last week, I introduced you to the 3. There are personal leadership pillar, they are the business leadership pillar, and then the last but not least, it's the people leadership pillar. Those are the 3 things that we work within. Everything that we teach will fit into one of those 3. And so let me introduce you to the very first one, the personal leadership pillar. Now, you may be thinking, that's kind of weird, Katrina. Isn't that more of like a life coach or sort of a spiritual coach pathway? Well, let me tell you this. Yes, we are very much focused on business strategy. But the reality, and I said this last week if you caught it, the reality is that we bring ourselves into our business every single day. And if we aren't where we need to be on a personal level, we're bringing someone in that isn't going to be able to do the job. Now, let me ask you this. If you're in your business today and you have someone show up and they're not delivering to the level expected, were you going to let them stay in their position? Or are you going to train them and maybe eventually not allow them to stay? Maybe you will terminate them, right? You don't allow underperformance to exist in your business. Now, my question for you is, are you holding yourself to the same standard? Are you holding yourself to the standard of high expectations? Are you training yourself? Are you delivering to the level you expect of yourself? And the answer, unfortunately, for a lot of folks is no. We do a very good job as leaders, especially if we're people leaders from a title and position. We do a good job of assessing other people's performance. We also do a pretty reasonable job of having very high expectations of ourselves. But we also don't create very clear paths for ourselves to be successful. And then we also sometimes sort of fudge the truth a little bit because we're doing our best, we're working hard, and sometimes we miss the mark. And we don't necessarily want to beat ourselves up for it. Now, I'm not here to tell you to beat yourself up. I don't want that at all. But what we do want is for you to be successful. We do want you to live life on your terms. We want you to achieve the legendary life. But to be able to get there, you have to focus on your personal leadership. Tony Robbins says it best. He says that the chokehold on any business is the mindset of the leader. And then when he talks about how to improve a business, 80% of the business depends on the owner, on what the owner knows, on what the owner is bringing in from a mindset perspective. If the owner believes that he or she can do it, has the knowledge, the skill set, the capabilities, or simply the confidence to know that she can overcome whatever's in her way, it's going to happen. It's really the 80% that's dictated by someone's success, by what they're bringing to the table, by their personal beliefs. And so I get a lot of questions to say, well, Katrina, why can't you just teach the strategy stuff. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'll get my personal stuff later, right? Just teach me the business stuff. Well, the reality of it is, if your mind isn't right, if you don't believe you can, if you don't understand why you're doing it, then you're going to hold yourself back. You're not going to be able to learn all of the business strategies that I want to teach you because you're so focused on trying to be, right? Try to present yourself in a certain way. It's like you're trying to wear this suit that doesn't fit, right? Or the shoes that you were never meant to wear. It's all of these things that we're not fitting into, and we're forcing ourselves to fit into something that we were never intended to fit into. But because we're forcing ourselves mentally, we're so focused on forcing ourselves that we can't learn the business side. We can't learn the people side. You can only focus and fight one battle at a time. Now, I know that you're probably sitting here thinking, I am a woman, I can multitask, I can make so many different things happen, and I'm not going to say that you can't. All right, I'm not here to argue that point. But what I will tell you is that when you are trying to overcome something in a business, and you're also trying to overcome something within yourself, you're never going to be able to overcome whatever that is in your business. When you're distracted by, when you're consumed by overcoming something personally within you. It's just not possible. You don't have enough energy. Just taking all of the energy that you have to fight the internal battle, you're not going to have anything left for your business. Okay? So there's a method to the madness. I help you overcome and tackle and drill into and move through that personal leadership side. Setting you up for success. Again, a big part of it is understanding what life on your terms looks like. Do you want to have every weekend off? Do you want to have evenings off? Do you want to have time with family? What are your non-negotiables that exist for you? It's also understanding things like, yes, you are worthy of living that life. Yes, you deserve it. It's okay that other people tell you that you're never happy. It's because you've never figured out what's going to make you happy. So let's sit down and talk about it. Let's define it. Because when you have those definitions, when you're clear on who you are and what you want, then it's so easy to figure out how to grow the business. It's so easy to figure out how to lead people and hire the right ones and keep them. Because you are now the leader that you're meant to be to go do these other things. Okay? So that is why that is one of our pillars. And we inject that pillar not just on its own, but into both of the other pillars. It's a constant running theme throughout everything that we do here at Legend Leaders. It's critical. It's critical to your success. And we absolutely are committed to your success and setting you up to succeed and helping you live the life that you're meant to live, whatever that looks like for you. Okay? So that's pillar number 1. I'm going to move through the additional pillars throughout the rest of the month. What are you going to do? A couple things. I want you to think about, what are your pillars? What are the things that your business focuses in on? That you can make a whole list of everything that you do. And then you can break it out and say, oh, well, this fits into this bucket, and this fits into this bucket, and this action fits over here, and create your pillars. Create the things that your business stands for. That no matter what you do, or the question that you get, or the action that you must follow up on from a service perspective, it fits one of those 3 pillars, or 4. Do not have any more than 5. 3 to 5. That's the ideal range. Figure out what your pillars are, and then be able to speak to them. What does that pillar mean? Why does it matter? Why does it exist in your business? And practice, and practice, and practice. If you can't explain it, your ideal client can't understand it. And as you practice and you grow and you innovate, the pillar will change a little bit. And that's okay. First, define them, then talk about them, and then get better at talking about them and refine them as you move forward. That's your challenge for today. I look forward to connecting with you next week, and I'll talk about the next pillar, which is our business pillar and how we move people through that pillar. As always, go and be legendary.